Luca Rossetti here from 360 Chiropractor Soon office. We just finished in the afternoon session. It was a late session today. And I'm here to share with you about the Eagle Eye Approach seminar that is going to be in Scotland the 4th and the 5th of November. Basically, the Eagle Eye Approach. Let's speak a second about why the Eagle Eye Approach. I've been living in Lufut in the north of Norway for a while, and up there is a lot of eagles. And watching at the eagle is kind of interesting. That bird is amazing. And before going for the target, is always giving an overview to the surrounding, to the environment. And the same thing is what I try to do when I'm approaching the patient. Before I'm going to deliver the adjustment, I like always to understand how is the overall function of that body. Looking at the eagle from stepping backwards a second and try to understand how is the overall function of that body, how is the body functioning. So how is the body functioning or not functioning? And before delivering the adjustment, I always try to understand what are those factors, the 3 T's that Didi Palmer was talking about, that they are going to contribute to have the subluxation, the dysfunctions, the tension somewhere in the body. So that is what makes me passionate, because it's just a different game. When you understand why you have those dysfunctions, when you understand the cause of the cause, the recovery of the patient is so much easier, is so much faster. And I really enjoy to share this with other people. That's why we have the seminar in Scotland. So what is the main points of the seminar? In the seminar, I will share the way we are going to find out about those factors. And some of them are going to be in the history of the patient. So the first thing is what questions are important to ask to the patient in order to find out what area we are going to investigate more carefully during the examination. So that is the first thing. The other thing that we're going to see is X-rays. When they're available, I'm not routinely taking X-rays in my practice, and I don't screen with X-rays every patient, but sometimes it's crucial, the information that the X-rays can give us. And I like to observe X-rays with keeping in mind function. So it's just, especially from the lateral view, it's a nice information that they can be really important when we are going to do the investigation, the examination, the functional analysis. So that is going to be the third thing, the functional analysis, which mainly is going to be a kind of muscle testing, but I call it progressive muscle testing. What does it mean? Progressive muscle testing is to progressively increase the difficulties in the way we analyze the body, because let's say we have a dysfunction that we pick up when we stress the body around 70% of its capacity. If we do tests that they only stress the body around 50%, for example, we are going to miss that dysfunction. And we will not purely correct the factor that is contributing to the subluxation or to the overall problem of the body. And so we need, I think is important to have a progressive way of testing and more the body. So the goal is to have the most difficult test, so to have the patient to be able to do the most difficult test. Also, I will explain ITR. What is ITR? ITR is a soft tissue technique that I developed, and I call it also the soft tissue adjustment. It's incredible, but this technique actually releases a noise. When you have the tension in the tissues, in the soft tissue that is get released, is kind of, you feel under the fingers, the tension kind of releases instantaneously. So ITR is a instantaneous tension release, and is making, a noise actually. And that's why the soft tissue adjustment. And the other thing we cover how to use ITR in releasing certain tension in the soft tissue, such as scars or trauma or some other area that, yes, we have different techniques to release those tensions, But ITR, as I said, is pretty effective because you can feel the tension melting under your fingertip. And what else are we covering in module 1? So the seminar actually is 2 modules, and these are the points of module 1. Let's see if I'm missing something. No, these are mainly the main thing. Basically, in the first seminars, the goal is to find the way, the tools to uncover what is that is interfering with the expression of the potential of the body, and the priorities, as I call them, that they create a tension in the spine or in some other place of the body. So it's pretty amazing sometimes to see how patients, before you go to make the first adjustment, you can really feel, and the patient feels it, and you can feel it with the palpation and with the functional test, that the spine is already melting by itself. So the idea here is that, of course, to express 100% life, you need intelligence, you need the mental impulse, and you need matter. And a lot of times, I think that matter is a little bit overlooked, and yet is important for the expression of that nervous system performance. So if we have, that's why it's important to ask a certain question in the history. If we have a certain information that they will guide us, that there is some traumas or there is some tension somewhere in the body that the patient developed during their lifetime, and we address those tensions, and sometimes the spine started to reorganize by itself without knowing, without that we are going to do anything, regardless the technique. This is not a seminar where we are going to teach a new technique. I think every technique is a great technique, and everybody is in love with that technique because they feel comfortable with that. This is a seminar that actually helps you, or helps the participant to develop certain skills to understand how can I improve my technique, the technique that already you are using. That is pretty unique. And so that was the first modules. If you have some question, please ask the question, write down if there is something that I'm not expressing properly, or if you read the leaflets and you would like to know a little bit more about it. The second modules is going to be done in February. So from November to February, there is enough time for the people that they participated to try this out and to get some skills in their hands. And also, I forgot to say, at the end of each seminar, we will have real patients, because sometimes it's great what we learn, it's great, it's fantastic, and a lot of times, yes, it's done between the people participating. You can try out between the participants, but and a lot of times is mostly a theory. Instead, I like to have everybody the experience to see what we just learned during the weekend on real patients during the seminar. So at the end of the seminar, probably at the end of day 1 and day 2, we will have always new patients. So the participants can actually play with real patients, and they can actually perform the routine and the approach and the analysis on real patients. So I think that is pretty cool. So on the Monday, when you go on the clinic in your office, you can straight away apply what we learned and what we discussed with much more confidence. And after the seminar, we will have some Skype call or in Zoom, where all the participants can ask questions, and we can refresh what we cover. And so it's kind of pretty ongoing learning even afterwards. It's not that people are going to be by themselves, because of what we are going to do is pretty unique. I think is pretty cool. Module 2, so that was module 1. Module 2, we are going to refresh module 1, and also we are going to expand a little bit how to use ITR, instantaneous tension release. So sometimes tension can be in different places in the body. So sometimes it might be over a bony structure, for example. Sometimes it can be in a more soft part. So the technique can adapt and to different parts, but it's something that people will develop over time. It's like the first time we did the motion palpation, we couldn't feel anything. And over time, we can pick up even the most hidden dysfunctions or subluxation or tensions. And the same thing with the technique. At the beginning is going to be a little bit more difficult. As we get used to it, as we get the confidence, it's going to be more easy to perform even the most difficult release in the soft tissue. So we are going to even learn how to do that on babies. On babies, of course, we are going to apply with a very, very gentle pressure. And it will take time to develop that skill. So we will see how to use ITR in different situations, in different soft tissue and circumstances. And also, we will uncover visceral dysfunctions, visceral tensions. How do we release the tension in the visceral system in the body? Thank you for the hearts. Please write if if you have some questions. Pierre, thank you, Pierre. Long time we don't see each other. Date and cost. Please look at is the 4th and the 5th of November. And regarding the cost, just a couple of hours ago, I posted the leaflets of the seminar, and you can see the cost there. Is it's written there. Otherwise, I will. Is 317. Then there is some discount for new grads, and also there is a discount for people that are retaking the seminar, and also there is a massive discount for students. And so have a look, Pierre, please, and feel free to ask questions if you have. And so coming back to the second modules, we have also the extremities. Sometimes people have a pain somewhere, but it doesn't mean there is a problem there. Of course, probably over time, even in that place, you might have some problems or some dysfunction, but the origin, it might be somewhere else. And that I see many times in the limbs, in the legs, in the arms, in the elbows, in the knees a lot. And so what else we need to keep in mind when we address those areas? So we will speak about cranial system. A big argument is going to be the TMJ, the gums, the teeth, especially the gums. I found that really, really interesting. Not many people are looking at gums, and a lot of times it's worth to have a look very closely to the gums and to what dental work has been kind of interfering with the normal function of the body. I'm not saying, when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that the dental intervention done by the dentist was a wrong intervention. I don't want to say that. But it's nice to keep in mind that we were born in a certain way. Every time we change the way the structure that we were made of is like an operation. If you take away the tonsils, that scarring that you have now in the throat, sometimes it might be kind of interfering. I have an example, for example, there is a lady that I've seen not long ago. She came with a lot of problems in the shoulder, and she has been everywhere. And she, after 4 or 5 visits, she always was saying, I don't see any changes. I don't see any changes. So I said, listen, we needed to restart from scratch and do another reevaluation. So it came that all of the intervention we did, they were pretty cool. From the intervention was saying that what we addressed was perfectly done. However, there was still some weakness. There was still something that was not working in the shoulder. And it was coming out that there was some dysfunction in the nose. And I said to her, there is something wrong in the nose. For example, it was like in the cartilage of the nose that I was picking up something. And when I told her this, she said, actually, I forgot to tell you that I had a problem in the nose. I actually burned my nose, and I have a kind of an irritation inside the nose, and I make actually a hole between the two nostrils. And it was incredible. We released the tension in there, and straight away the shoulder started to improve from there. So sometimes it's cool to understand the cause of the cause, being the cause, the subluxation, of course, and the cause of the cause is what comes before the subluxation. I find that it makes me really passionate about, because the results are completely different. The other thing is, as I said, the TMJ, teeth, gums, and how the bite works, how the bite can interfere with the overall function of the body, and also the feet, orthotics, and the incredible, an incredible also technique that is super fast and super effective for dizziness and vertigo. They are more or less the summary of the two seminars. And again, if you have some questions, please write them down. If there is something that I didn't express properly, please contact me, ask me any questions. To be live on Facebook, it's not really my thing. It's kind of new things for me. So there is a little bit of excitement, a little bit of feeling a little bit of a pressure. But I really, really feel passionate about what I developed, and I really would love to share with more people as possible, because I see the results, and this is kind of cool. It's kind of cool, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to enjoy that, and is making every technique even more powerful. That is what I'm really thinking. So enjoy the evening, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for please again share the video if you want to share with other people, and write some comments, write some questions. I will get back to you. Please contact me directly if you need some more info. And again, the seminar is going to be module 1 on the 4th and the 5th of November in Scotland, in the clinic of Gavin Sinclair in Wishaw Chiropractic Clinic near Glasgow. And the second module is going to be taking place in February. The date we will decide all together during the first seminar, during the first modules. We will decide all together when is better to organize the second module. So thank you again, and enjoy your evening. Keep doing your amazing work with chiropractic, helping people with recovery, with expressing their full potential. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there, and enjoy your evening. Ciao. Thank you very much.